Shalom. I want to give all praise honor, and glory to Yahweh, Shema Shaba, Shema Kakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of great and awesome that don't miss truth. And peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. And yes, as it says, black women are dying at work, getting fired, and are tired of the system. Can't lie, this brings me joy and happiness. But you know what? I was the scripture again, man. I'm always forgetting. Oh yeah, I just realized I was what was I gonna say, man? Yeah, I was I was looking for my glasses. Or the old glasses, but I just decided to open it. And there was this ring inside there. There was a ring inside that in the case. There was a ring in the case. I don't know what it's doing there. But I don't know. Well, I didn't. I didn't know who I was supposed to give it to, but it's one of those ones that I ain't seen her in time. But I don't know, maybe one of her friends or one of her family members. I don't know, when I go out to the highs and byways or when I'm outside, they can come and grab it. But yeah, man. What was it called again? Yeah. Oh, my good life. Yeah, it says here 1 Samuel 2:6. The Lord Yahweh Hashem Hawashai killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave, being Hades, and bringeth up. But if you want to think about it, that basically being resurrection, man. Literally dying and coming back in the same body, that's resurrection. And the Lord can do that if he wants.
We're not talking about this enough. 3 black women in my family have died of heart attacks on the job, including my mother, because they've had stressful jobs, stressful managers. Life was stressing them, and they just died on the job. Now, guys, your health is more important than anything. It is not worth giving your entire life, literally, to your job. You need to manage your stress, and you need to prioritize it, because no one else is going to do that for you. Yes, you have to be employed, you have to make money, but you also deserve to live.
You guys know the reason why so many black women are losing their jobs or leaving the corporate workforce, government, whatever, by force or voluntarily is because they never wanted us there in the first place. Which is why we have like the highest rates of workplace harassment and bullying. When you work in an office setting where it's majority non-black people, you're going to be targeted. You're not getting out of it, boo. And unfortunately, it is very common.
Yeah.
Now, this is why a lot of black people did not want to come back from out of work from home, because we be tired of dealing with people constantly. The microaggressions, the passive aggressiveness, the belittling, the trying to nitpick you to death, every little thing you do. I mean, people constantly watching you. It really does stress you out. And it's all because they don't feel
Relax, man. Relax. Daniel 8 and 25 it says, and for his policy. For his policy, also he goes. Oh my god. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. He should have gone into his
monkey. One monkey.
Oh my god. Going into
One monkey. One monkey. One monkey.
Yeah, going into those. Oh, see now I forgot.
I'm monkey. I'm monkey.
Oh, Yusuf, man.
I'm monkey.
See, now I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm monkey.
Monkey's gone. And yeah, gone into those policies being those. Oh. See, I forgot it. What's it called? It's along the lines of kind of like a treaty, or I've literally forgotten it.
Why don't you put that in the box? Oh. What do you think? Saki might want to play it. How come you unplugged it?
Why was the game want to play it?
He did want to play it because he went on there and he said you went on there to play and he seen you deleted his stuff off there. That's why he hasn't played it. Because he thinks you don't want him to play it.
Nah, I can't get back on my account. What was it called again?
Where's this monkey disappeared to?
You know, let me just carry on. Of his policy being those so-called treaties. Also, he shall cause Christ to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, being in his mind, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, being Yahushua, but he shall be broken without hand. And again, literally that going into the war, which will take place up in the sky, basically, in the sky. Yeah.
Don't feel that you deserve to be where you're at. They literally don't want you to have anything. Definitely nothing more than them. And we know this isn't for all non-Black people, but we also aren't going to play dumb and act like that's not the case a lot of times. I've been to a lot of places, and every single one there's at least a few people who clearly have that sentiment, who don't even want to speak to you when they see you, right? Give you attitude for no reason. You could be the nicest, coolest, calmest person, but you know how it is. At the end of the day, when you are one or two of the Black people at an organization, a lot of times, especially when affirmative action was here, they only hired you to meet the quota. So they won't seem racist. So it won't seem like they're intentionally keeping Black people out, even though that's what they want to do, and that's exactly what they've been doing, which is why they fulfill it to the bare minimum. So now that there's a reason or excuse to let go of people, we're the first ones on the chopping block a lot of times. Because now it's like, oh, we're not forced to have you here. We don't have a reason to keep you, even if you're doing a great job. Even
I swear there's a scripture about that. Money with holes. No. Yeah, here we go. Haggai 1:6. You have so much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled. You're not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Literally meaning, you want to think about it, let's just say, yeah, Israelites aren't good with money. They're not good with money. Always spending. Literally over there in America, they're the top consumers, man. They spend the most money.
you're doing a great job, even if you're qualified or whatever, you're gonna go first. And we know that whenever there's economic issues, it always hits Black people first and the hardest. But yeah, they never wanted us there, black women or men. But at the end of the day, this system, even working a 9 to 5, is inhumane. It literally sucks the humanity out of you. I've always said working in an office building.
So let me just say this. Firstly, they definitely want you guys to work, right? Because it benefits them too much financially for you not to work. And for Black women in particular, them valuing things like education and their work, their career over their family is something that they constructed to destroy the Black household. So they definitely want Black women working. What they don't want is Black women to start caring about family and start raising kids and start prioritizing being a wife and being a mother. That's what they don't want. What they want is for you to get your degrees.
Would you believe me if I told you that this entire shopping haul was completely free? I've discovered a shopping app that's...
What they want is for you to get your degrees and be in that workforce. But this is one of the many things that feminism won't speak about. It's the fact that the majority of women who are working hate it. Just like the majority of men who are working hate it. Most people hate their jobs. Most people are working because if they didn't, they'd be homeless. And I don't know how you guys grew up. I grew up pretty much working class, right? Everyone in my family worked 9 to 5. Nobody liked working. None of the women enjoyed the fact that they had to work to this day. A lot of my aunties are hitting retirement age, coming up to it. So their time is almost done. They've been doing this shit for 50 years. Working since they were 16. 9 to 5. Playing the role that they were taught to play. And they despise it. Can't wait to go back to Grenada and retire. This is the unfortunate truth. Although feminism, looking at it now, did a lot of great, they should have never fought for equality. They should have fought for something different. They should have fought for equity. They should have fought for women to work, but different. Because women aren't men. The 9 to 5 was created for men. You've entered the male space. But that obviously wasn't the case. And look, they don't want you to work from home because if you work from home, then you're not buying Starbucks. You're not going to your local coffee shop. they lose money when you work from home. So, yeah, they're trying to get that out here. Even in the UK, they're trying to get working from home out of here.
I'm seeing conversations about how if you're a woman, especially a black woman, having a black female older manager is the worst manager you could have. And that is true. They are. They're awful. They think about every bit of suffering they went through to get to that position, and they will see you having a good time, you know, just enjoying life, and they want you to suffer too. They're the worst. And we're saying that white male managers are the best ones. They are pretty good. But I will say the best managers I've ever had have always been older black men, 40, 50. They see me like a daughter, especially if they have no daughters. I'm in there like swimmer. Oh my God, there's no micromanaging. They're nice to me. They're lackadaisical as fuck. They're so kind. There's no passive aggressiveness. They're sweet. You know, promotions on time, bonuses on time, take the day off. What do you need? And they don't bother you about nothing. Older women, white, it's easy. I can't figure out what's worse. The older white women with the microaggressions or the older black women just want you to suffer. But an older black man, they're the best for me. I love them. They take care of me. I don't know about y'all, but the older black men love me.
We see this a lot, and this has to be because of a chip on these successful women's shoulders, right? If you're a manager as a woman, you know, I can imagine.
And even then, even saying the CHIP reminds me of the what's it called? The MLTB. Or the mark, which obviously not going into the RFID micro CHIP. Then obviously you got the forehead thing, which, you know, that's the brain CHIP. And even then Elon Musk is the face of it. He's the face of that. And he's gonna offer it to everyone. He's gonna be telling people, come get your brain CHIPs, man. Pop it in your head. And people are gonna pop it in their heads. And even then they're gonna be judged harshly with them nuclear missiles.
In their minds, they've had to, go through it. And they're looking at you and they're like, well, if you're gonna get here one day, you can't, I had to go through it, so you think it's gonna be easy? It's not easy. And then they start to make it difficult rather than making it easier, making it so that you don't have to go through those things, because you as a manager probably didn't want to go through those things. But because men don't look at women as competition in that way, especially when you're a higher up, if you're two salespeople competing, sure, but your manager is never going to look at you like a football competition. The relationship, I can imagine, is just different.
The people of the Me Too movement are now facing consequences because it says more male managers are avoiding mentoring women or meeting alone with them. And, I can't even fault the men in this situation because, all it takes in 2025, all it takes is a dude saying the wrong joke or misreading a situation and he's just in jail or fired. Especially this day and age when everyone is just like so sensitive. And it's really smart of men to not be in a situation where they are alone with a woman. Like that's just smart. Because all it's going to take is for her to say one thing and you to try and deny it. But ultimately, she's a woman, so people are just going to automatically take her side. And then you're just screwed. But I don't think you have to go. I don't think men have to go as far as avoid being alone with women. I think some of the accountability has to be on women having good judgment. Because
oh yeah, that's reminding me of the water line. The water run. And no, I'm not turning it off. But yeah, like I was saying, with this TikTok app, this shit, man. as soon as I go on the app, man, there's a bunch of women in hijabs, man, all over the place. And even then, there's things about marriage as well. Well, weddings, basically. And Yeah, I'm just tired of seeing these women all up on the For You page. Even then, I'd rather watch the dogs, or the what's it called, the cats, or what's it called, the monkeys. That's what I'd rather see. But yeah, man, let's carry on.
All of those girls in the Harvey Weinstein case said that they went to his house at 2 a.m. to like for an audition. Like, bruh, women are the smartest species in the world. How were they all so dumb to believe that an audition would take place at somebody's personal home at 2 a.m.? Come on now.
Yeah, come on, let's be for real. They didn't think no audition would happen. I refuse.
It's obvious they wanted money. They wanted money from the get-go.
To believe that. But when we speak about male managers, this is something I bring up when we talk about privilege. And a privilege in society today, being a man over being a woman. One of the privileges is you're probably more likely to get a promotion. And that's not only because there's going to be more men vying for that promotion most of the time, especially as you get higher up. Men just prefer being around men. Men don't really want to be around women, especially alone. So if these male managers don't want to be around women, how are they going to bond with women? If you know anything about corporate, it's not about how great you are, it's about who you know and the connections you have. So if men are afraid or cautious to be alone with women, then it's going to affect them getting a promotion, which benefits men. But what is the reason for this caution that men have? Well, it is the Me Too movement.
White male managers and white male people leaders have been complaining because they have a really hard time managing women and people of color because they're too scared. They're scared to give feedback. They're scared to give constructive advice because they don't want to be labeled as racist or sexist. And there's actually a research study that shows that when women and people of color get feedback, it's really generic. It's like, it's not.
Yeah, now I see why they fired them. They fired them to save their own asses. Great.
Like specific, it's not constructive, right? Because they're scared.
Because these men are scared. And so I'm talking to these leaders about like, how do you fix this? Because this is also why more Black people and women don't advance as quickly because they're not getting the feedback they need.
My consulting firm, we work with leaders in healthcare around these issues. Like how do you communicate effectively and inclusively with your staff around these issues? Because we know like there is this fear in terms of giving feedback, but in doing so, you prevent your staff from moving forward in their careers. So I mean, I think that we have to be really intentional about kind of like the skills development that leaders have, that managers have. We have to actually work with them around like what kind of language to use, how not to feel like that fear, because you actually end up undermining the people that you're supervising.
Right. And you're unintentionally doing it. I think a lot of people have good intentions. They're trying to be the good guy and they're trying not to step on someone's toes and they're trying not to offend. But the result is then that person feels like, why am I not advancing? Why?
Again, I'll be honest with you. If you're a man, if you're a white man, right? You're a white man. These are the majority of people in power. If I have to tiptoe and use special
as I said, these so-called white people, them positions of power. And again, we already know what scripture I'm going to. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges, being the saints. If not, where and who is he? And even then, we know who has the power, man. Come on, man. Let's not play any damn games. Oh, come on, bro.
If I have to tiptoe and use special language just for you, why would I hire you? Why would I do it? That's an inconvenience to me. These guys aren't the guys that have to acquiesce. Because again, they're the one in power. Stop being a pussy, bro. Stop being a bitch. People shouldn't have to use special language around you to give you criticism. Understand that this is a place of work. I've hired you. You've been hired because we thought you were good. We want the best for you. Now look, sometimes you might get a manager who didn't hire you and they don't like you. They want to sabotage you. I understand that. But these are just more reasons for them not to hire you.
I did get my son arrested. I felt like I had no other choice. No, I did not want to criminalize him. I felt like I was unsafe in my own home. You're bullying me in my own house because there's no man in here. If there was a man in here, you wouldn't be doing this. And you're terrorizing me. So y'all gonna tell me I'm wrong. But before he got arrested, I said to him, just get the phone. Dead in my face and said, no, I don't have no phone. And put his arm.
Crazy, man, crazy. That's not it. You know what? And even then, Matthew 9:19, it says, honor the father. It's like, let me read it. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And literally, when it's talking about the neighbor, it's talking about other Israelites. And even then, the reason why the reason why Jacob is the way they are is because of the curses, man. That's how to be hating each other, man. We're not supposed to be like that.
No, I don't have no phone. And put his arms behind his back. When he got out, he proceeded to hack in every account I had.
Me personally, I don't blame you for getting your son locked up. It's a fucked up situation. But from what it seems like, from what I'm seeing, like the respect is out the door. There's no more respect there for you. Obviously, you starting to fear him. So I understand. And then he took your phone and then he cleared your accounts out, right? That's robbery. You robbing your moms. You understand what I'm saying? So obviously, like, something got to be done. But what I do blame females for is this, and this, I don't know if this is her situation. I blame the woman because they create that monster. From a kid, they raise them as they sons, as they friends, and your son is not your friend. You have to be a parent. And now it's like y'all take away the rights from dudes in the hood, uncles, cousins, and all that. When y'all don't want them putting hands on them, y'all baby them, and y'all be telling them, nobody don't touch my fucking son. Then when they get too big and you can't challenge them, now you scared of them.
This is a very good point, you know. Back home in school, teachers are allowed to give students licks. You will get licks. Okay, Miss Kwame, our head teacher, when she hit the corner with the belt like this. Oh my goodness, everybody is Darky, everybody, what are you doing in the corridor? She in the corner, little short lady, like 4'10", built. Oh, but she was quick as shit. Okay, she had that belt. You're gonna get it. You may look at that and say, that's bad, that's whatever the case is, but that is a form of parenting almost. The community is helping raise your kids, right? If you're a young boy and you're doing some bullshit, the old lady sitting in the shop is gonna scorn you, right? She's gonna tell you off. She's gonna tell your parents. The community raises you almost. Older men will drag you up, rough you up if you're doing some bullshit. All of this helps to mold you into a certain type of person.
And now nobody want to chastise them. Ain't no uncles or cousins gonna say nothing now because you done told them for so long, don't say nothing to your son. I'm not saying that she did that, but a lot of women do it. And then these little boys, they get older and now they run shit. They know their moms are scared of them, and that's how they act. That's how they treat their moms. The one they supposed to be protecting, they be oppressing their moms. And that shit is crazy. So, I don't blame you that had to happen. It's just a simple fact that somewhere down the line, he lost respect for you as his mother, the one he's supposed to be protecting. He started preying on you, like where everything is out the window. So it leave you no choice but to call the law on him. And I know that shit hurt for you have to call the law on your son. But it's a lot of that going on. It's a lot of mothers out here scared to death of their sons. But again, y'all stop the hood, the village that could have been chastising him from little to teach him, don't ever disrespect your mother, man. Like, that's the last person you want to disrespect. And he'll grow with that shit in his mind, but obviously there's no man in your family or nobody around that he fear or respect enough to not even do that.
Yeah, man. Get that little nigga in jail, man. You know what I'm saying? At that point, it's going to be up to him to change. Life is going to have to change him because there's nothing you can tell him is too late. But could you imagine raising a child and then fearing that child and having to call the police? I can't even conceptualize. I don't even know what that would look like. There's no way. I hate to use this comparison, but I speak about, Animal Planet a lot on this channel. I love Animal Planet, Insect Wars, but I also watch videos of dogs and cats, right? And especially dogs, how they are in a pack setting, and they have the hierarchy. I hate to even compare children to dogs, but one of the things dogs trainers and dog experts will always tell people when you have a dog is don't treat the dog like your equal. Don't do that. So unless you have a dominant personality, dogs can feel that. The dog shouldn't be sleeping in the same bed as you, for example. Because it's going to start marking territory. It's going to start thinking that shit is his. All of a sudden, you try to remove him from the bed, and now he's like, whoa, what the fuck? Get out of here, bitch! All of a sudden, the dog thinks he's on you. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Ain't no dog sleeping in my bed. I don't know. I said, what am I doing? On level. And he's rebelling against you. And he's you don't think people have been attacked by their dog because he tried to take the dog's food away. Because he tried to take the dog's ball away. The dog thinks you're on his level. That's how you treat the dog the whole time. And again, it's crazy to say, but when you're raising little boys, yeah, it's kind of like that. You treat that little nigga like he's your equal, like he might grow up and turn into a demon. You gotta let them know who's in charge of rape. And that's very difficult for single moms because as men, we become self-aware and we realize we're just an old woman. If that respect hasn't been put into you, crazy shit can go down, man, like this. And that self-actualization happens at an early age, 13. You're taller than your mother, you're stronger than your mother. It can be a problem.
You can choose to raid the caravan, or you can choose to guard it. This is a game where slaying monsters are not the only...
It can be a problem.
I made a video saying that if you're a single mom, especially if you're in your 20s, you got 2-3 kids, we shouldn't have had a baby. You should have stayed with them.
You gotta look at that kid's bro, I ain't another 7 years. I used to be my bitch, this is too much. I ain't ready for this shit. At the end of the day, is you wicked HOESs and you're wicked nigg. I want to say nigg, I mean NIGGA. You gonna get it, man. It's as simple as that. Believe in what you want.
The Lord gonna show you anyway. The Lord gonna execute judgment. and as it normally says, man, he's known. He's known by these judgments, man. He's known. As my Lord Dawah have said, man, or King David, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shah is known by the judgment which he executeth. And obviously the wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. So, yeah, man. Like, imagine that. Like, you built all these things to destroy the Israelites and keep them in captivity. But at the end of the day, it's going to turn back on you. But yeah, all praise to you, Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shah Ba'ashem Rakakadash, and Shalom.